So I'm gonna record this real quick. I guess this will be the start of a question and answer series. I don't know how it'll go. We'll see. Maybe I'll do them in like a group, or I'll do them individually. I think they work better individually. But first off, I got a question from somebody else. I'm gonna answer it in a different one, and that's what started me to this. I feel like I need to explain myself, maybe apologize. Um, One of the things about doing a live show and broadcasting live is that I think there was a lot of misunderstandings. First of all, and I don't want to be making excuses, but some of this is going to probably sound like making excuses. First of all, I was probably mean to a lot of people. I'm sure that a lot of people came into the stream and probably were like, dude, that guy David is an asshole. And yes, I think that's true. True that people got their feelings hurt and left, and it sucks because I kind of, looking back on it now, I wish I would have. I don't know if should say handled it differently, but I wish that wasn't the outcome. There you go. I wish that people didn't come into the chat, see me broadcasting, and then leave with a bad taste in their mouth. Because, yeah, that sucks, man. I mean, that's especially for potential new fans or new viewers. That's the shitty way to go out, and it's the shitty way for, them to come into something that they should enjoy and then they leave. But, in my defense, is that how I say it? Here's the thing. I have a very mean-spirited sense of humor. And you can ask any of my friends, you can ask anybody who knows me, anybody who's known me since high school, who went to college with me, anybody really close to me, any of the close chatters that were around to watch. I have a very mean-spirited sense of humor. But the weird thing is that I only have a mean-spirited sense of humor with people that I like, or people that I feel comfortable enough to be close with, right? Because, you've ever seen those YouTube videos or prank videos where, like, somebody's walking around the street and then people go prank them? Like, I never find those funny, because it's like, dude, at that point, you're just being an asshole. You're going out there doing jerky things, pranking people who have, they're not unsuspecting. And if they get mad, we're all laughing at them like, he's so mad. And they're, like, of course he's going to get mad because he's just walking on the street and somebody's doing something shitty to them. Right? So for me, I always found it funny when, I just made a video about us when we recorded the dream sequences, the bear sequence where Brad's running around with a bear. And if you go watch that video, it's hilarious because, well, I think it's hilarious because it's Brad being grumpy, but me, like, still hamming it up and being stupid, even though he's in a pissed off mood. And I find that hilarious because I know Brad and because he's my friend, and it's a very mean-spirited sense of humor, but I only do it because I love the guy and because we're friends, and that's where I find it funny. And then the same thing used to happen in chat all the time too, is that I would pick on my friends, or I'd pick on chatters that I knew. Lenali was probably one that I like. There were times when I would just be absolutely obnoxious to Lenali because, sorry, it's got something in my eye, but I would be absolutely obnoxious to somebody like Lenali because it's so wrong, right? What kind of asshole would do this kind of thing? Well, me, because you do it because it's wrong, because it's not right. And I feel like, especially now, I don't know back then, but especially now, you almost can't do that stuff because American kids are so sensitive, man. And maybe this is because I was Asian and I grew up in a very tough household and that trained me to become thick-skinned. But I feel like there's so many kids now that, like, if you make any sort of small sort of joke, they, like, fall apart. Like, my mom was always like, whenever she was yelling at me, when I was a kid, she was always like, "Don't be an egg, David. Don't be an egg. Be a hard-boiled egg. Hard-boiled egg." Because her reference is that she didn't want me to fall on the floor and then crack. She wanted me to hit the ground and be like, "All right, I'm still together." And so, yeah. So, I mean, going back to it, what was my original point in this? Oh, yeah, I had like I have a mean-spirited sense of humor. I just always remember, and this may not perfectly coincide with the mean-spirited sense of humor, but I feel bad. I feel bad now because I still have to be myself, but I also can see how people coming into chat like misread the situation and just like I could have been more welcoming, but it's also like that was why I was me. That was what made me me. And this is why either you loved me or you hated me. That's always how it seemed to be with the fans my chatters. Either you loved me and you thought I was the greatest, most hilarious guy ever, or you hated me with a passion. And God, I cannot stand that David guy. Let me know when he's finished broadcasting. And I became fine with that. It bothered me initially that there was people who didn't like me, but I eventually accepted it. The fact that I was always going to be that guy. Like it's just I looked at professional wrestling. Like, do I want to be the Hulk Hogan, or do I want to be the Ric Flair, or the people who just you love to hate him. And I was like, part of me was like, well, for every I always saw it as like for every Batman, right? For every Batman, there has to be an equal interesting Joker. And if you don't have that, back and forth, combat, or that what's it called? Tension? I don't know. I can't think of the word right now. But if you didn't have that such a great villain to play off of, then the stories weren't that interesting anymore. So, or were never going to be that interesting. So, like eventually I embraced that rule, because I remember early on it really bothered me that people didn't like me, and I was that's something I don't think people knew, that like being in front of the camera, or being like a quote unquote public figure, is that you open yourself to a lot of criticism. And I think a lot of people are dealing with this now with Twitter, because everything you put out there is essentially under critique by others. But yeah, man, it just reminded me of the stuff that made me laugh, because I remember I would be in chat, and like here's the thing, okay? I was totally fine. I was totally okay being a nice guy, and I'd be in chat and I'd be like, okay, yeah, we're playing video games, and then some idiot would be like, "Oh God, David better not play. He better not play any idol videos today. That's not what I come here for." And like whenever I saw that kind of thing, I was like, "Oh really? You don't come here for idol videos, right? Because you're paying you're paying me to play video games. I'm a little dancing puppet. If this guy wants me to play video games, I gotta play video games. So I better not show any idol videos, right?" So I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, my mean-spirited sense of humor was like, I'm fucking playing an idol video right now. Bam! And I would play it. And then the chat would explode, right? Everybody would explode and be like, oh God, why do you have to play the idol video? And like the people who liked it were like, yeah, David's playing an idol video. Yeah, it's so funny. And I remember too, there would always be some guy in chat who would always, like, right at the end of the video, it's like, thank God we are now done with this bullshit. We don't have to deal with this idol video anymore. And as soon as I saw that, my eyes would light up, and I'm like, we're playing that shit again. and I always thought that was the funniest shit. Like, like this, like Andy Kaufman kind of like humor. It's like either you got it or you didn't. If you were like part of it, it was the most funniest thing. And if you weren't, you would just like be pulling your hair out at how frustrating this damn Asian guy playing Idol video. I think there was a time when I probably played Idolmaster, the same Idolmaster video, like 4 times in a row, because I just thought it was funny. And then people, people would storm off and, I'm getting out of here. Fuck you. You're going to lose viewers like this. And, yeah, it sucked to lose viewers, but it's for the sake of the art, right? It's for the sake of the comedy. You should make art and comedy not because you're trying to get as many viewers as possible, but you're doing it because that's what's funny. That's the art. So yeah, I don't apologize. We're shit, dude. All you guys who couldn't take it, too bad. No, but I do feel bad though. Seriously, a little bit, because it sucks, man. I'm sure there were some people who were unsuspecting that just kind of wandered into chat, and the first thing that happened was like me timing them out or banning them, and they were like, "Whoa, what did I do?" And for those people, yes, I'm sorry. Shoot me an email, send me a tweet, let me know that maybe that was somebody right now. Send me a message and, say, hey, on this day, you timed me out, and I never understood why, and I will offer you a heartfelt apology from David formerly of 4PP. I'll give you an apology. Thanks for listening. We'll see you later. Bye.